Hello there everyone and welcome back to another Muunilinst mock update video. And in this video I actually implement a few changes based on a lot of great feedback I got from you guys for the bridge / walkway area, and then I actually start on a new large scale building. You're seeing some of that in this frame right here. I have a ton of fun working on this new building. It's going to be really epic and very awesome. So that's about it for the intro. One thing I do want to mention real quick is this is coming out on Father's Day, so make sure to give a huge shout out to all the fathers out there. Make sure you hug your dad, tell him you love him, and appreciate everything he does for you. So just wanted to put that quick message out there because this is coming out on Father's Day. I know my dad has supported all things Lego for me that I've ever done, so I really appreciate him and love him so much for helping me out and supporting me on everything I do with YouTube and Lego. So I really wanted to give a quick shout out to him and all the dads out there. So that's about that. That's about it for the intro. It's a very exciting episode. I have a ton of fun working on this next large-scale building. So without any further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, so for today's episode, we're going to work on a couple things. First off, I have done some work right off the bat here with the bridge. So I got a ton of comments. Usually I try to put them on screen to highlight some of you guys' awesome feedback, but I got so many comments, it's going to be hard to include all of them on screen. But the general consensus from a lot of you guys was that you liked the bridge, but you felt it needed some kind of destroyed elements or to add something to it to make it fit in a little bit more with this rest of the kind of upfront area here and make it a little more battle damaged. So as you can see right there, I have done that. I've added in a lot of different plates of different sizes and different 1x1 studs and angled one side of the bridge to make it seem like it's in the process of falling off and it's kind of been torn in the middle by a piece of artillery or rocket launcher or something like that. So I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who left feedback and comments. This probably will be a design that I'll keep working on throughout the whole series, but this is the first design that I've got going so far for the bridge. But again, thank you guys for all of the awesome feedback on the bridge. I definitely wasn't sure how I felt about it, so it was very reassuring and inspiring to read the comments and try to figure out what I wanted to do next. So for now, I've got it battle damaged. I'm going to kind of see how I feel about it for the next couple days and next couple episodes, and we'll kind of see how I feel about it, but so far I'm liking it. Alright guys, so we are on the back side of the MOC right here, and as you can see, we've only got a couple different areas left here to build, so we've got a lot of space to cover, but in terms of Muunilinst building sizes, there's not a whole lot of kind of room left. So again, in the original plans of the MOC, I wanted to have the crashed gunship, and if you guys have been tuning in to the live streams, I've been mentioning my concern with the gunship crash and how much space it's going to take up, and not having enough space right here to do the gunship crash. And I've presented a few interesting ideas to kind of remedy that, but so tune into the live streams if you guys haven't already to get some insights on kind of what I'm thinking, but we'll worry about the gunship crash later if I'm able to end up having enough room to do it. But right now I want to focus on the buildings because I do want to put more focus on the buildings right now. So I want to have, so kind of over here we've just got these. I plan to have these buildings be the largest. So these two that I've already done, I want to have those be the largest buildings so far, and I want to kind of have a bunch of smaller buildings filling up this space with some streets and stuff. So I've started to outline the very first building that we'll work on in the next few episodes. So I've got it in the corner back here. It's going to be fairly large. I'll put a screenshot on screen right now of kind of what I am going to base this design partly off of. So it's going to be, it's a little smaller in terms of how far out it goes than this one. It's going to be a lot shorter than this one, I believe, too, but still going to be a pretty good size. I've been working on a few designs, which I will show you guys in a minute, but this is the outline for one of the buildings that we're going to work on for this episode and the next few episodes, and then we'll move on from there. Alright guys, so here's kind of what I'm working on so far. Obviously this new building is going to have a lot of pillars. So you saw on the screenshot there's pillars and there's kind of a walkway. So I wanted to kind of show you guys what I have in mind for the walkway so far. So theoretically these pillars would attach to the walkway right here. Let me just move the camera up so you guys can see a little better. So essentially the idea here is I want to include a lot more sand green for this building. So I've kind of started to include some sand green up here on the walkway. So this is what I've got for the walkway so far, using some masonry brick and other different plates and tiles, and these interesting cone pieces right up here, and then some actual kind of clips up here, these U-shaped clips. Don't know what exactly they're called. The only downside is this thing is a little fragile the way I've got it right now, but this is kind of what I've got going so far. I've also got these little gaps in the actual walkway. I think that adds good dynamic kind of look to it. And then the pillars right here are nothing different on those, but this is what I've got for a walkway design so far. I'm going to go ahead and kind of start to expand it so you guys get a better look at kind of what I'm thinking, but this is what I've got so far for the walkway design. Alright, so I've worked a little bit more here on this design to kind of build it up as tall as I think it's going to be, and I'm really liking what I've got so far. Now the real question is going to be if I'm going to be able to build elements around this design that I've got so far to make it look good, because it looks okay by itself, but who knows when I put it in context with the larger building. If you're wondering why I'm showing this off on the floor, if you guys are new to this series, I did this a lot in my previous update series, the Clone Wars MOC. I build on the floor quite a lot, and then I kind of take it up to the table and start to fit it into the table, just so the table doesn't get super messy when I'm building, so my update videos aren't, the table's not just covered with parts. So I do a lot of my building on the floor here, so that's why I've got this on the floor, but don't worry, I'll put it up on the table to show you guys here in a little bit. But you guys already saw this bottom part right here with the railing. I'm really liking the way that's looking so far. Essentially what I did next was add the next layer here. So I did add some of those windows. Again, let me know what you think about the color scheme. And then I did add in some more pillars right here, 2 on the sides and then 1 in the middle. And then added in a layer of sand green up top right here. I think what would be cool is if I had any, which I might order some fairly soon, is instead of masonry, just using sand green like bricks that aren't masonry, just normal bricks, but I don't have any at the moment, so maybe I'll change this if I order some more. But essentially this is what I've got going for the overall design for this layer so far. I'm definitely liking the design as of right now. I think it's looking pretty good, but the real test is going to be once I put it onto the MOC and start to make the building around it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create the base layer for the building so that I can place this element on top to see what it looks like. But we'll see. This is kind of the interesting part. This episode is going to be really fun because I'm building things in different phases. So hopefully this will be a fun episode for you guys. But I'm going to go ahead and get back to work, and I'll update you guys once I have some more progress. Alright, so I've worked on this building. Earlier I just kind of had an outline. Now I've actually started to create this building, and I've plated it off, and I'm starting to put the individual tiles on. You'll notice I have jumper plates all over the place. That's where the kind of big pillar structure that I showed you guys in the previous clip, that's where all of those are going to go on those jumper plates. So down here, what you can see what's going on is just some sand green elements, so there's 4 of them right there, and then I've got some tiles, 4 of the 2x2 tiles, and they're on modified bricks, and they're kind of back half a stud, if that makes sense. So you can kind of see down there how they're offset just a little bit, and that seemed to be somewhat accurate to the screenshot I was referencing. But it looks kind of plain right now because you still can see all the underneath plating, but I'm going to go ahead and put that pillar structure that I showed you guys in the last clip. I'm going to go ahead and put that on here, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Alright, so I went ahead and put on this next section here that I showed you guys earlier, and I gotta say, I am really liking the way this is looking. Now that it's on the base of the building right here, you've got some scale reference now for minifigures, so you can see how tall this building is going to be. I don't think it'll be much taller than this, so I'll just probably add in some roof, but this is what the front section is now looking like on top of the building. I'm really liking the way it is looking. Again, here's some more details on what the top part of this walkway looks like. I wasn't really able to show you guys that earlier, but I am happy with the walkway design. Definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions on this design in general. But next step here is I'm going to go ahead and make 2 more sections of these pillars so I can put them on each side and then show you guys what that looks like. And here is one of the designs that I came up with for the actual structure of the building. So once we go past the pillars and we have the actual kind of square slash rectangle-ish actual building structure, this is kind of what I came up with. So again, I talked a little bit earlier about these trans black 1x2 bricks that I really wanted to use for a long time, and how I had a bunch of them and I just want to see if they work. So that's what I've done here, is I've put a bunch of them in the middle, and then I have some masonry here on the bottom. Sorry, it's just kind of hard to show right now. Got some masonry on the bottom and the top and some interesting patterns, and then using again these 1x2 trans black pieces, and I've kind of offset them, so you notice at the top it kind of goes down by one brick each time, and I think that's going to create an interesting pattern. And I've created a couple more of them right here. So, I mean, honestly, this would be really cool if I was able to do something like this. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make the building that long, that wide across. So it's just going to be one of these on each side. But I want to show you guys this kind of design that I came up with. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and put those on the base layer of the building fairly soon, and you guys will get a better idea of what exactly I'm thinking and talking about for this building. All right, guys, and here is what we've got going on for this building. I went ahead and added in the extra sides over there on both sides of the building, and then you can see also on the inside I've added in that wall that I just showed you on the previous clip. So this is what we're looking like for the building. There's a lot I still need to do to kind of straighten this out, but I think this is going to be all I get done for this episode. So I actually got quite a lot of work done on this episode. I've got most of this building started. What I'm going to have to do next episode is, you can see on the railing, or not the railings, the pillars on the left side, I haven't built like that. I need to build two more of those, one to go there and one to go on the other side. That's kind of the next big step, as well as creating the roof and just kind of tiling off certain things here and there and finishing up this building to make it look a lot cleaner and a lot better. But here is what we are looking at. There is the inside of the building right there. We've got our wall panels that I showed you, and then we actually have some more pillars as well. So we got a pillar on each side right there, and then we've got part of the wall, and that kind of goes on each side here. I'll try to get around to this side. So it's also on this side again. The only thing I need to do is finish that far right side over there with some more pillars and more bricks. And then it's kind of hard to see down there, but we've got our left side of the building right there with the pillars and the walkway on top. But overall, this is what we are looking like for this building. I'm very curious to hear your guys' thoughts so far. It might be kind of hard to get an idea of what this building is going to look like finished, because I only have this front side kind of mostly complete. I need to add the roof and touch up a few things, and then kind of complete the rest of the building like I mentioned a couple minutes ago. But yeah, pretty exciting episode, guys. I'm really happy with the progress that has been made. I have a vision for how this building's going to look, and I can envision it right now. I think it's going to be a welcome addition to the rest of Muunilinst. I think it's got a good size to it. It's got the Muunilinst vibe, and it fits in really well with the rest of the building. So, hope you guys did enjoy this episode. Stay tuned for next episode, where I am going to complete this building, hopefully. We'll see how long it takes, but my goal would be to complete that building for next episode. Here's kind of what the building's looking like compared to our other two large-scale buildings. So this building's gonna, I think, do well in terms of a size and everything like that. And then also this episode, we did work on this middle part right here with the kind of destroyed bridge part right there. So I am pretty happy with the way that turned out so far. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section below for that as well. But this is what we've got going on for this week's episode. I hope you guys did enjoy, and stay tuned for next episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm having a ton of fun working on these Muunilinst buildings. It's a dream come true to be able to work on a MOC like this, so I'm having a ton of fun. That's about it for this episode, so we'll go ahead and move on to the outro. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you did enjoy. Again, let me know what you think about the improvements that I made on the walkway, and taking all the consideration and all the awesome feedback I got from you guys on last week's episode, and then let me know what you think of the new building that I started for this episode. Again, it might be kind of hard to envision what this is going to look like in the end, this particular new building that I started, but if it turns out anywhere near what I'm kind of imagining, I think it's going to turn out pretty well, and I'm very excited to continue to work on it, and I had a ton of fun working on this episode. Once again, we're going to give a huge shout out to Director KW. In the most recent live stream, he donated once again a very generous amount of money that will go towards the Muunilinst funds for this MOC. So all the stuff from purchasing the custom parts to make these speeder bikes, and to buy some more parts to create these epic Muunilinst buildings, because these buildings take up a lot of parts. So once again, huge shout out to Director KW for being a legend and donating a very generous amount of money. So once again, huge shout out to Director KW. But that's about it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next one, where hopefully I'll be able to finish up this new building. It's going to be very exciting. As always, leave your feedback in the comment section below. Hope you guys have a great day, and may the force be with you always.